To go down from Dunningham, gets away for Bird, Bird's over. The Sharks are into the semi-final. And a dangerous second kick. Gordon is out there, made the catch. Greg Bird has scored.
Greg Bird, Cronulla Sharks, Gold Coast Titans, Catalan Dragons, obviously New South Wales Blues and Kangaroos, but it all started in Cronulla for you.
It was amazing. It was a lot different to what I expect rugby league is now. It was a sort of a change in the dynamic of the professional rugby league player from being someone who works full time and trains at night, I think, into the professional world. The social scene and beers and those sort of things were written into the schedule basically, and I've seen it as my career went on. I retired in 2019, so from 02 to 19, you saw it constantly change every year, and to what it finished and the product is now, it's amazing.
When you look at your other club in the Titans, they were newly formed and were only very fresh when you started with them. What was it like walking into a club that was still establishing themselves?
It was definitely interesting. It was a lot different to, the historical side of being at the Sharks. They've been there for years, and at the time they were chasing their first premiership. Unfortunately, I wasn't involved in that. But to go to a new club with new offices, all new facilities, no history whatsoever. It was interesting. The player dynamic was completely different. I think the way they recruited up there. I think Paul Broughton, Surley, and Cardi did an amazing job getting those blokes together. But on the same token, it's changed so much over the last 10 years up there, and I think that hopefully they're moving in the right direction.
You played with some amazing players during your time at the Titans as well too, the likes of Preston Campbell, Matt Rogers. What was that like for you as a player?
It was amazing with Rat. Rat's one of my best mates now. His dad was my CEO at Cronulla. He left for the ARU that year that I arrived, and so we didn't actually cross paths down there. We played together. When I got to the Gold Coast, he actually came back from rugby, played at the Gold Coast. I moved in a couple of years later, and we play golf a couple of times a week right now. It was good. It's good to know him and his family. His dad was great to me in the Shire back in the day, and he's looked after me on the Gold Coast when I got up there.
Playing at the Gold Coast Titans, you played alongside Preston Campbell, the godfather of the making of the All-Stars. What was that like for you as a player to go alongside and to learn more about your culture?
Yeah, it was incredible, really. At that time, I knew nothing about my Indigenous heritage. I knew my family was Aboriginal, but I didn't know anything about history. And what he did there, the cultural work that we did, the workshops, all the players. I found out that a lot of the players were in a similar boat to myself. And after that, you go searching and find out about where you come from, where your mob is, chase some birth certificates and photos and things like that. It was actually an amazing experience.
You as a player, as I said, you've played across all those clubs. You've also played at representative level, City Country, Origin, Kangaroos. Are there any big key milestone moments for you that you remember and loved?
Oh man, 2014. I don't think anything could go past that. I unfortunately didn't have the most success at Clubland, so I put everything I could into those rep matches, whether it be Tests for Australia or Origins for New South Wales. They were my grand finals, and nothing really beats 2014 when we broke the curse and got the monkey off the back finally at Sydney. It was nothing better.
What was that like for you as a player? You matched up alongside Gal, you're known as the Bash Brothers and the G-Train. Talk me through that relationship and dynamic.
The relationship was great, purely because we grew up together. I think I saw him as an equal anyway. Gal seems to look down on everyone else, but I saw him as an equal. We come into grade together. We both started in the early 2000s at the Sharks. We started playing Origin and Australia basically at the same time as well. So we sort of take the piss out of each other a fair bit too. So it was always a good laugh while we were around each other, and I believe that we made other people feel comfortable in the same sense. But on the other hand, it was when you were out in the field and the going was tough, I knew what I had next to me. You know, he's one of the toughest blokes, which has probably been more emphasised post-rugby league career in the boxing ring. What he's done there is pretty amazing. But yeah, we lived together, grew up together, played rep together. It was won an Origin together, won a World Cup together. It was pretty good fun.
Talk to me about that World Cup win.
It was amazing. It was probably coming off a rough period. Like the New South Welshmen and Queenslanders basically hated each other. 2012, they sang the team song after a test victory in Townsville. There was pretty bad. There was ultimate separation. New South Welshmen on one table, Queenslanders on the other two tables. We went into that tour with Sheensy, and I think Sheensy knew that it could either go one way or the other, and we bonded really well early on in camp. It was 8 weeks away, it's a long time. Bonded really well, and every game I think we improved, and everyone was having a good time, and got to the end, and I think it was 32-0 in the final. Was a great way to finish it. Rivalries were mended a little bit, and you know, some of those boys are classed as good mates these days.
You went away for an amazing tour as well with the Prime Minister's Cup with the PNG tour. What was that like?
Yeah, it was good. It was always fun. You know, going to an environment, it's a very hostile environment actually. Hostile not in the sense that you would find in Australia at all. There's no one wears shoes, people are carrying guns. It's, you know, there's a lot of dirt and there's not built up, and it's a lot different to what you'd expect, but the passion that those people have for rugby league is second to nowhere in the world. And we went to a school, and above the blackboard was a cross, and next to the cross was Lockie and Joey. There's pictures of them right up there, so that's the sort of height of respect that the people had. They had no electricity, had no ceiling fans. It was about 1,000 degrees. It was just a shack with a cross and a whiteboard and a few tables on blackboard, and a couple of pictures of Origin heroes.
2012, Game 3, State of Origin. It's one that haunts quite a few New South Welshmen with that kick with Cronk. You were on the field during that game. Can you talk me through that moment?
We're going try for a period there, and I don't think I realised how late it was on the clock. I think there was 6 minutes to go, and no one really expected. We thought they were going to put a bomb up, and then we'd be back in that arm wrestle. But Cooper, as Cooper does, took it upon himself and nailed that field goal from just over 40. I think Gal was the only one to put pressure on him from memory. The rest of us weren't even thinking that it was going to happen, and then they held on from there. I think those were the games back then. I think there was one blowout game, but you know, a lot of those series that we lost by one game, we lost by 1 point, which did make it tougher. But that was the greatness of that Queensland era. Those players that they had. I'd love nothing more than to see Cleary and the likes try to start their own dynasty this side of the border.